this is Praveen Dabas and welcome to the MMA India show. Today we have a really special episode. We are talking to Cris Cyborg. Every MMA fan knows who she is, and a lot of non-MMA fans know who she is as well. We are really excited to be speaking to her, one of the biggest MMA stars of the world. A brilliant fighter, and of course a lot of controversy surrounding her all the time as to the new featherweight division. A lot of questions to be asked from her. So let's get started. We will bring in Akhilesh Ganavarapu and Cris Cyborg. Hi, thanks so much. And my name's Praveen Dabas from the MMA India show, and we'd like to welcome you. And thanks so much for taking out time to do this.
Thank you, welcome, and my pleasure, no problem. Thanks so much for giving the opportunity for me to talk a little bit about my career and everything.
Thank you. So, Akhilesh, you want to start off?
Yes. So, Cris, we just wanted to give you the platform because one of the biggest talking points right now is regarding the entire situation with USADA. So, can you just give us an update on what is happening, what the situation is?
My doctor now talked to USADA, then contact with them. And, everybody know after my 2 cut weights, my health is okay. And she talked to them and asked me therapy now, therapy medical, and after my fight. And, I really don't know what's going to happen, but she's contacted USADA now.
Okay. So, can you also give us just a story about what happened after the weight cut, because obviously you have been on, for example, diuretic because of the entire weight cutting situation. So what is the process? What has the process been like after the weight cut to get all that weight back?
It's not about the red thing. It's my doctor can explain for you real, because I'm not a doctor. I trust in her, and it's not just about direct thing, and she had the special things about my body, and she's had all my exams, and she's gonna explain better, for USADA, and when we clarify everything, for sure I'm gonna tell everybody what's gonna happen, because she's gonna explain. Because I trust my doctor, and I'm not a doctor for to explain the real specific thing.
Right. And how is your health right now? How are you feeling after getting all the therapy that you have been getting in the past couple of months?
I feel good. I feel okay. I feel better now. I really feel blessed being alive now, because my really hard time for cut weight last time, and I really need to break it. It's like 3 fights in 8 months, and these last 2 cuts will kill my body. And then because I'm not set for more fight 140, I just gonna keep my division 145, and but I feel okay. I feel better. I just start training slow, and I'm not started dying yet, because really my body had to recover, and I feel okay.
Okay. And the other thing is, did your doctor give you a timeline as to when you can once again start safely cutting weight? Because what you've been through is something that no other fighter for a long time has been through, cutting that amount of weight, shedding that amount of weight. So did your doctor give you a specific...
You can repeat again? I don't understand.
Sure. Did your doctor give you a specific time as to when you can start cutting weight or dieting again? Did she say this is the period, 4 months after which you are okay to...
I'm going to Brazil now next week, because she's wanna keep it, take care of me for me can fight again. And after my blood test, I'm going to Brazil, do my blood test again, and figure out everything okay for me can see if I can fight soon. She said, she don't say I give you 2 months. She said after 3 months you're gonna do blood test and see if everything okay with you, and you ready for to go, ready for fight.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to give us your opinion on weight cuts in general? Because there is, of course, a big difference in the way men cut weight and women, because it's inherently harder for women to cut weight. And now, of course... Sorry, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm really happy about what you open other division, 145, my division. I'm really fighting for this, because for women it's really hard cut weight. You know, for guys, have a lot of divisions. You know, you can fight. Okay, I want to fight 155. I can fight. I want to fight 170. I can fight. But the women before just having one, two divisions, and you have to try, you know, see what division you can go. But sometimes, you know, athletes sacrifice, you know, do something for can make the weight, for can have the opportunity, and everybody knows, you know, life with the fighter is no easy, and everybody wants the opportunity for show your work. And you know, I was did this. I accepted the fight catch weight in my first fight because it's the only way I have the opportunity. Now I'm really happy and I'm glad, you know, they opened my division and open the door for other fighters too, other women's fighters, and maybe cannot pass through like happened with me because now I have the division. And if you see, have the big names in boxing, MMA, it's girls really heavy. If you see Lila Lee, the box girl, Clarissa Shields, all the girls heavy girls. There's no 135ers. And this open opportunity for other girls from boxing, from judo, coming to the MMA, and they have that division.
Right. And,
Yeah.
last month, a couple of months ago, I talked to Roxanne Modafferi from Invicta, and we had a detailed discussion about the difficulties women face after cutting weight, after cutting a lot of weight for fights. So, can you also throw a light on any such difficulties that you have faced just because of the weight cuts?
You know, particularly for me, it's I think all different bodies different. You know, for me, I have to lose a lot of weight for do the catch weight, and then I did a long time. You know, I was dieting 3 years. 3 years I was working with Joy Lockhart for drop the weight for maybe try the other division, and you see it's impossible, and it just be maybe 140. And you know, each fighter is different. You know, but I think for women it's really hard because we have the period, and the girls have a lot of more hormones, the guys, and we need to not just worry about today. You know, I have to worry about tomorrow. You know, after I want to stop fighting, I want to have a kid. I have, want to have family, and we're gonna remember you now. It's okay, and now okay, it's fun. But when you really think about when you have a family, and you see if you have a problem from what the cutaways, and I think for women it's worse.
Right, and when you first came, when you first were brought up to UFC and started fighting at 140, was that the initial discussion that you and UFC had, you fighting at catch weight, or did UFC say, you know what, we want to do with you what we did with Ronda Rousey, as in create a division around you, create that 145-pound division around you?
You know, I will accept the fight 140 in Brazil because in UFC because the first fight will be in Brazil in my city, and but the agreement is supposed to you're gonna maybe the opportunity to fight Ronda Rousey. You know, my plans never stay 140. My plan is stay maybe super fight and keep my division. This is my plan. And if you hear my after my fight, my first fight 140 in UFC, I say what's next for me. I say man, I want to defend my belt 145.
Right.
Okay. We also want to, of course, congratulate you on getting your U.S. citizenship.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
congrats
really
on that.
happy. You know, I've lived in America almost 8 years, and it's really good. You know, changing the opportunities and really help.
Great. Now that there is a featherweight UFC belt, there are many different versions floating around about Dana White saying it was offered to you and twice, and then you didn't accept that fight. So can you tell us your side, as in was it offered to you? Was it not? Can you tell us your side of that? When you would be ready to fight for the featherweight UFC belt?
You know, all my fans follow me know it's after the fight. I already say I have a treatment doctor about my last cut. And I said to you, I'm not going to fight soon because I really I have to take care of my health. And, you know, I have to wait all the process now with my doctor. I'm going to Brazil now, do my blood, everything okay. And if we have everything okay and they're about to start our resolution, and for sure, we're going to schedule for my next fight. You know, I think I have to wait my health first and go to the doctor and they finish the process.
Right, and we just touched upon what UFC told you when you were brought up to the UFC roster. So did the discussion about a 145-pound title come up? Did they say we're gonna give you that first title fight when we create that division?
I just fought ended in September, and I already I say I'm not gonna fight. I have to wait my process to take care of my body, and when it'll be ready, I can fight. But and then I think you open my division like 1 month after I said after my fight. There's 2 months, and I'm not changing because this is really about my health. It's not just about belt and about division. I'm really happy now have the division, and for sure when to be healthy, I'll have the opportunity to fight for the belt.
Right. And when your fight ended, the last fight, did Dana White or Sean Shelby or at that point Joe, did they come up to you and say, look, this is your fight, and you obviously posted a video online which went viral where people from around the world saw your difficulties in cutting weight. So after the fight, did you have a discussion with the UFC officials and say, look, I'm not going to fight for 4 months? And did they offer or did they say at that point that they were going to schedule a title fight? Was that a discussion that happened immediately after your fight?
After my fight, my manager went to talk to them and then say I'm not gonna fight more for anymore, and I really recover my body. I'm gonna keep my division, and they really talk about this, about my health, about this is cutting unsafe again and all the time, and yeah, and because this I think then open the division 145.
All right.
Now, like you mentioned, one of the reasons of coming to UFC, a super fight with Ronda Rousey was discussed. But now, of course, Ronda Rousey is not the same Ronda Rousey anymore. And Cris Cyborg versus Ronda Rousey would not be a super fight, really. Would you still be interested in that fight, or are you looking beyond that now only to the featherweight and facing the whoever wins between Holly Holmes and Jermaine now?
I really would like to see Ronda winner again. I think it's a really nice fight in Ronda when she's a winner the fight and she's a champ and she's make a lot of from MMA, and now she's coming from two lost, and I think I want to fight real Ronda. I want to she's compete, she's fight, and maybe get a win, confident again because it'll be the real fight. And I don't think the last fight gonna help her, gonna fight me. I think this fight will be featherweight. I think it'll be a closest fight. And I would say this long time ago already. I think this fight never happened because people already know what I'm gonna do with her. And I think she's have to have more fights and coming through with a win and confident again. And maybe this fight can happen. I don't think this good time for this fight happen.
Okay.
Right. And do you think, in hindsight, after what we saw strikers such as Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes did to Ronda Rousey, in hindsight, do you think Ronda knew that fighting you would be much, much worse because of, let's say, for example, your fight with Gina Carano? Do you think Ronda did not ever want to fight you in hindsight?
I think if you really want to fight me, this fight is gonna happen before, And I think if I fight Ronda before she fight Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes, I think the both fight we say more to fight that she did the last fight because everybody really wanna watch me. I think if this fight happened before Holly Holm, this is your more say UFC ever, for women. But that doesn't happen because she lost 2 fights and the matchmaker make this fight. I know it's no fault matchmaker. I know it's 2 fights have to accept the fight for this fight to happen. And I don't think she would fight me. She run a long time. But this is fight that must make money for the company and for her and of course for me too.
Right.
Now, Amanda Nunes has also spoken about moving to featherweight and being a two-belt champ. Have you thought about that fight as well?
I was not hear this interview about her. She said when I go 145. I never choose my opponent. He'll be cool. I don't want to fight Brazilian against Brazilian. But if you see this fight put in my front, I'm gonna do. I'm a fighter. I'm a professional. And man, let's fight. I would like to do the same she did with Ron with me. It'll be a really cool fight. It'll be shoot back style. Let's see who's gonna go down. And you'll be excited fight for all the fans. I'm open for fight anyone, and she's coming for 45. It would be amazing.
Now, one of
Right.
the
And
sorry.
yeah, so since we're talking about champions and belts, Invicta just 1 or 2 days ago announced that the fight between Megan Anderson and Charmaine Tweet will be for the interim title. So, and you're of course the Invicta FC Featherweight champion. So, what is your take on the entire situation? Because obviously you love the company, you love the promotion, and the fans would definitely want to see you come back and fight or defend your title. So, what is the situation? Did Invicta get in touch with you? Did they tell you that this is what we're going to do? Is there any word on what the future holds for you?
I'm really happy about Invicta. Invicta helped me, give me a hand. It's my house there. I love to fight there. I love Shayna. She's who support me. And I'm really happy about the girls have opportunity to fight belt. I think it's no fair. I have to hold, division, have a lot of girls, training, have opportunity for fight. I really would like to defend my belt, Invicta, but now I've still opened the division 145. And I think it's the right way. They make the interim belt. Maybe, the winner can fight me. Maybe we don't know what's gonna happen, but I really I really happy for the girls. I think they deserve that fight. It would be amazing fight to eat against Anderson. I think maybe I can fight who the winner.
Right. And did Knapp or Julie Getzi or Caitlin Young, did anyone get in touch with you and say, look, we'll have an interim champion by the end of the week and you the undisputed champion. So let's, make that fight happen. Did anyone get in touch with you about a fight possibly happening?
Yes, and maybe can happen. I think it will be cool. I think if I made the champion, she's gonna fight, and who interim belt have to fight for the champ for keep it to who will be the real champ. And for sure.
All right.
Now, one of the very first women's super fights, everybody's talking about super fights nowadays, but one of the first super fights in the women's division was you and Gina Carano. So, do you want to tell us a little about that fight? Because it was one of the biggest fights of the time. Your preparation, and how you looked at that fight.
Nah, when I think it's the biggest fight ever about the women's MMA. It's me, Gina Carano. We opened the door, and in my division, 145, in the first belt, first MMA women's MMA fight, and Gina Carano is a big star. I think she's one day come back for fight. She's still a big star, and people, the MMA start with her, and then when I fight her, came from you and everybody sharing for her, and then we did an amazing fight, and I think this fight opened the door for women's MMA, and a lot of people watch it, and I really think the biggest fight ever for the women's MMA, the first fight, it's me, Gina Carano, in the history, I think it's me, Gina.
And, just wanted to elaborate on that because you just talk about Brazilian fans getting behind you, but now you have the USA fans. Your last fight, the US fans were getting behind you a lot. So, how did you see this transition from 3-4 years ago when, seemingly the entire world was against you, but now the entire world is talking about Cris Cyborg. So, how did you see this transition?
Yeah, when I fought with Gina, nobody know me too much. I did my first fight with Shanna Baszler, and then nobody knows too much me, and she's more popular than me. Because it's the crowd with me because people really don't know me, and then people start to follow me, start to see my work, start to like my fights, and yeah, I love my fans. I have fans all the places in the world, not just in Brazil, just in America. And then, okay, I did these 2 fights in UFC, but before I fight these UFC fights, people already know me everywhere. If you say Cyborg, everybody know who I am. And this is making me really happy because it show me the people have enjoy my work, appreciate my fights. And I know, I love all my fans, now they know me, but in the beginning when I fight Jack Carano, I was new, nobody who don't know who I am.
Right. And, recently during the Bellator conference call with Tito Ortiz, Tito said he talked to you and he told you to take the featherweight title fight, which was given later to Holly Holm. So, what was the discussion that happened between you and Tito Ortiz? Because we just heard Tito's side of the story. Can we also hear your side of the story?
Chito is not my manager. He is we train. Sometimes he teach me wrestling, and I really don't talk to him about advice for my career. And I talk to my manager George Progin, and he really know about what's going on in my health, in my body, my doctor. He really know what's going on, and I need time. I can fight, and he's just say something he really don't know. Of course, then he would like watch my fights, but it's not just make the fight, make money. It's about your health leads first.
Right, absolutely.
Now, can you tell us a little about your strategy before a fight? Uh, do you really look mostly at your game, or do you also watch do your coaches or do you watch videos of your opponent and you devise a specific strategy for every fighter?
I never watch the fight of my opponents. All my team watch the fights and they then put everything, watch all the fights, put everything in paper, and you put everything what's the fight doing, don't do, what's combo they like to do, and then we sit after this. We sit down and make a plan. And I really trust my team, and we do the game, what they're gonna do in the fight. But always I'm prepared for everything, because you cannot just go plan A, and there have to be plan B too.
Yeah.
And something will go wrong, something that your plan cannot do. I think you have to be ready for any situation. Because these hours I keep training, and I know just training before the fight. I think when you train before the fight, it's just playing for the fight. But you need to getting better your game, improve your game, ground game, strike game. I think you're getting better, and you close your fight to make a plan. You know what's gonna do, and people know I'm not surprised by no one. I love this stand up. I love KO my fights and finish stand up. But of course I'm a brown belt jiu-jitsu. I have good wrestling, but I don't have so much opportunity to show all my game for my fans. But I really like Chico Kyoto girls, I like to train boxing and Muay Thai, and this is my style, I like to do this, but I improve my game every day, and always you have to have a plan, but you have to be prepared for everything that can happen in the fight.
Right. And now, since we're talking about training camps, and what goes on in your camp, what is your normal training weight? How, at what weight do you walk when you're in a training camp? So that is the first
Now,
question.
now I'm on 75, 73. It's my weight to training, and of course now I'm not dieting. I'm eating normal, clean, but I still eating, every 3 hours because when you dieting for the fight, you have to train more and to eat less calorie,
Right.
and my body no supposed doing now this now, eat a lot and train a lot and the calorie less calorie because I'm trying to recover about all my losing weight. And between those two fights, I'm 3 years doing this, and then after my blood test, I see everything okay. We can start doing this slow again. And but for now, always my weight is 175, 173, and then when I'm diet, I'm usually this way too.
Right. And your previous weight, training camp while cutting weight, you had George Lockhart who was working with you. So what was UFC's reaction? We have heard your reaction. We have heard George Lockhart's side of the story. But did UFC get in touch with you and give their side of the story regarding the whole Lockhart situation?
I really worked 3 years with George Lockhart, and they go to him. It's I made me make 135, and but I don't think he's thinking about my health. He's thinking about his goal, make 135. It doesn't matter if he'll be good fighter, healthy fighter, or if he'll be the same cyber in the cage. I think the goal is just step in the scale and make 135. His goal is know if he be okay in the fight, if he be the same cyborg. He think just about him, and I just about him and the payment. I don't think he's think about the real cyber. The live person. And his business. His business doing this. I don't agree. I don't agree, but his business, I really think about my health. I don't want to step in the cage and be cyborg. Doesn't matter if I make 135, I'll be cyborg, and then and then yeah, man, I really don't have any words for say anything about this, but we work really hard, And I'm glad to have someone inside that he's there and he's watch everything and he see I did everything and he know how much I training and yeah.
Right. And do you think that is something that is happening with every promotion? Until something drastic happens with a fighter. For example, you talk about one championship where a fighter died while cutting weight. So do you think something like that, is eventually going to happen again before the promotions actually understand that this is a very dangerous situation that the fighters are going through?
My last fight, I really felt this. I was the best, and then I said, man, one day gonna happen really bad things with me, and then nobody gonna cares. You're gonna be 1 week, 2 weeks gonna talk about, and then don't change anything. But this is not worth. I think, and then this is passed through in my mind, and when in the bath, and I said, man, I cannot keep doing anymore. I cannot keep doing because something really bad cannot gonna happen with me, and my family don't deserve, and there's no worth, and because this man, I say, man, no more. I want to keep my division, and man, I'm getting old. Maybe I'm gonna keep my division. Maybe more couple years I need to go up. I need to fight more heavy. Like we cannot doing this for about a long time, and I'm no young girl. I'm no 18 anymore. I'm 31.
Right.
Can you on something a little brighter and more positive? Can you tell us about your like favorite fight so far? Like which has been the fight where you felt you were at your best and most comfortable and most satisfied after the fight?
I always after fights I'm really happy, and my last fight I felt very weak. In my fight. I'm not warm up for this fight. I don't give you one punch in the bag and the pads, and I did anything. Just pray, sing for God, and anyone call my name, I go to fight. And but I'm really happy about the victory. But this fight is I was not feel cyborg, and I think my first fight in UFC, I think a good fight. I feel okay, I feel good this fight. And I think in a lot of fights, I love all my fights. All my fights I feel good. I train hard for them, and I think all the fights I have a specific fight. I think I did in my best. But of course, when you get experience and make a lot of fights, you feel more comfortable when you go in the cage. And I think I getting better about this. You can see Cyber in the beginning to fight crazy anymore. I think I getting better. I can sit down and then I look and I try to move more. And I think I getting better. I think the experience make you better fighter.
Right. And, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was you recently uploaded a video of you wearing a hijab and sending a message to all the women across the world. So, can you also give us a little insight as to what was going on, what your intentions were, how that came about, the entire situation regarding the video?
I have a one camp I do for women, for motivated women, and the name about fitness. And I always have no specific for fighters, fighters women. It's for normal women because this we put pink belt. It's for secretary, for the girl working in the house, for different girls. But I can share a little bit about my life, and then I talk a little bit about my faith, and then I try encourage the girls. When you have a dream, you keep doing, you try do what you think you feel your heart, and I use the thing in my face because I appreciate all the women. It's not specific women, but I think you have to respect everyone, independent about the religion. It's just because you have to respect all the girls. And this is my job. This is my job. If is I don't see the difference, between the girls. I think you have to respect each other because if you respect each other, it's better word for everyone.
Right. And, also I have one question which I wanted to ask you. Now you have the Holly Holm fight that's going to happen. Do you wish Holly would win the fight so that you could fight Holly and in turn beat her and then prove, that the woman that beat Ronda Rousey, you could easily beat her, so that you can just correlate something with you and Ronda Rousey? Do you want to fight Holly Holm? Is that a fight that you really want to have?
This fight 145, it will be a hard fight. The opponent there, Holly, is no easy fighter. She's a real fight. She's have a lot of Muay Thai fights, and Holly, her game is stand up. And man, I'm really curious for watch this fight. I really don't know who's gonna win. But man, who's gonna win? I'm ready to fight anyone. And of course, Holly Holm will be cool because she big name and big draw. But other girl too, she's a really good fighter, and I just want to who is gonna win. But I think it'll be an amazing fight for all the fans to watch. I think it'll be an amazing fight.
All right.
Should I ask a message for the Indian fans? Akhilesh, you want to ask anything else?
No.
Thank you. You?
So
Okay.
can
Yeah,
you,
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
so can you,
I wanna
when we announced that on our page that you were coming on the show, people went crazy. You have a lot of Indian fans, and they were so excited, that you were going to be talking to us. So, are you looking forward to coming to India anytime? And do you want to give out a message to your Indian fans, of which there are many?
I never been in India. It'll be my pleasure, and it may do seminars. Can send the email, go to my Instagram, Cris Cyborg, and thank for all my fans. I love my fans. I think the fans make the fighters, and I really appreciate anyone. And for sure, one day I want to be in India and support for all my fans because they do long time with this with me. And thank for the opportunity. Always I'm gonna open the door for do more interviews and maybe tell you the news. My next fight. And thanks so much. My email Cris Cyborg maybe. Hope gmail.com. Guys want to like send email for me. Talk and I'm always close fans.
All right, wonderful.
Oh, great.
Thank you once again, Cris.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
So that was me and Akhilesh speaking to Cris Cyborg, a huge MMA star, and we were, of course, very excited to be talking to her. All the fans were very excited to be talking to her, and we more or less covered everything we needed. We wanted to speak to her about. We got a lot of updates, a lot of information, so to speak, from her own mouth and clarifications, and about her course and her forward also. We unfortunately couldn't take any names of the fans today because most of your questions were anyway covered in our in our normal conversation with her. But like I said, all of your questions were answered. But I can take your names now. The questions I was going to ask from Harsh Bavaskar, Aniket Desai, Parthasarati Karupaswamy, and Vaman Shinoy. These were the main questions we were going to ask, and all of your questions were answered. So that's it from me and Akhilesh. We shall see you again real soon. Thanks, Akhilesh, and goodbye, everybody.